A woman who walks alone is not to be pitied. She is to be understood. There is immense strength in choosing solitude over company that weakens the soul. While many seek validation in the noise of social circles, she seeks truth in silence. She is not alone because she lacks value, but because she values herself too deeply to be surrounded by those who don't see her clearly. It takes courage to stand in a world that praises popularity and still choose peace over praise. She walks without needing an audience. She rests without needing applause. In solitude, she finds her voice. In solitude, she sharpens her vision. The world often confuses quiet with weakness, but she knows that stillness is a sign of mastery. It is easy to belong to a crowd. It is rare to belong fully to yourself. She does not fear walking alone because her purpose gives her direction. She does not crumble without friends because her foundation is built on self-respect, not social approval. Her strength is not loud, but it is unshakable. And while others may be busy impressing the world, she is busy becoming something greater, unbothered, unshaken, and fully aligned with who she truly is. People are not always meant to stay. Some come to teach, some to test, and some to show us what we must walk away from. A woman with no friends is often a woman who chose to release what no longer served her. She learned that loyalty should not come at the cost of her peace. She discovered that being surrounded doesn't always mean being supported. So she let go. She let go of the ones who smiled in her face but competed behind her back. She let go of the ones who drained her energy, dismissed her dreams, or diminished her value. That decision wasn't weakness. It was wisdom. She no longer tolerates half-hearted loyalty or conditional love. She understands that not every connection is sacred, and not every friend is true. Some people leave because they were never meant to walk the full journey, and that's not a loss. That's alignment. She didn't lose friends. She shed layers. She didn't become lonely. She became lighter. Her solitude is not the result of rejection, but the result of redirection. Now she moves with clarity. Now she walks in truth. And though the path is quieter, it is far more powerful. Real connection is rare, and she knows it. A woman with no friends is not empty. She is simply unwilling to settle. She is not interested in surface-level friendships that come and go with the wind. She is not moved by the illusion of closeness without the foundation of trust. She would rather wait alone than force herself into spaces where she doesn't belong. While the world chases numbers and follows trends, she searches for depth, for truth, for people who speak the language of her soul. She does not fear being misunderstood because she understands herself. She has outgrown the need to entertain shallow conversations or tolerate energy that leaves her feeling unseen. Her solitude is not a punishment, it is preparation. It is a refining process. She is building herself into the kind of woman who can only be matched by those with real intention. When the right people come, they will recognize her silence, respect her boundaries, and value her presence. Until then, she stands guard at the gate of her peace. She would rather be alone in truth than surrounded in pretense. That is not loneliness. That is self-mastery. That is emotional maturity. And that is power. In silence, she meets the parts of herself the world never cared to know. She hears the thoughts drowned out by noise, the emotions buried under obligation, and the dreams suffocated by distraction. A woman with no friends is not aimless. She is intentional. She uses the quiet to shape her identity, to question what she believes, and to refine who she is becoming. While others lose themselves in constant validation, she finds herself in self-examination. She doesn't run from the silence. She sits in it. She listens to the truth it tells her. She doesn't need a crowd to confirm her worth. She defines it on her own terms. Every moment alone becomes a mirror. She sees her fears, her wounds, her power. And she doesn't hide from any of it. She faces it head-on. Silence is not her enemy. It is her teacher. In a world that worships noise and chaos, her stillness is her rebellion. Her clarity is her strength. She is not shaped by popularity, but by principles. She is not molded by approval, but by alignment. She is becoming a woman who doesn't just exist, she evolves. And in that quiet evolution, she is building a foundation no one can shake. A woman who doesn't need approval is a threat to every system built on control. She cannot be manipulated with praise or broken by criticism. She is not waiting to be liked. She is living to be true. The world fears this kind of woman because she does not follow the script. She doesn't dress to please the crowd. She doesn't water down her voice to keep others comfortable. She doesn't pretend to be less just to fit in. Her power comes from within, and that kind of power can't be taken. It can only be earned. She knows who she is, and more importantly, she knows who she is not. That kind of clarity is dangerous to those who rely on confusion. She is not easy to influence. She is not desperate to belong. She walks into rooms without shrinking, speaks without seeking permission, and makes choices based on values, not validation. This unnerves people who depend on insecurity to maintain control. She cannot be guilted, flattered, or shamed into submission. She has already decided that her peace is non-negotiable. She lives on her own terms, and that freedom radiates. She may walk alone, but she walks with power, and the world takes notice. Her path is not for those who crave comfort. It is not paved with approval, applause, or constant companionship. A woman with no friends often walks a journey few understand because her mission is uncommon. She is not here to impress. She is here to evolve. The silence she embraces, the solitude she endures, the resistance she faces, all of it is shaping her into someone unstoppable. Most people need a crowd to feel confident. She needs only her conviction. She does not crave attention because her purpose demands focus. She is not distracted by trends, gossip, or empty social rituals. Her eyes are set on something higher: growth, truth, and legacy. Not everyone can walk beside her because not everyone has the endurance to carry that kind of vision. Her life is not loud, but it is meaningful. Her progress is not public, but it is powerful. While others chase comfort, she chases character. While others seek entertainment, she seeks enlightenment. And though her journey may look lonely from the outside, it is deeply aligned on the inside. She is not walking alone by accident. She is walking alone by design. Because some missions are too sacred to be shared with the unprepared,